90s wrestling is the place to be, is in full effect because we got some new stuff for you. I'm not here trying to rap with y'all. I'm just trying to let y'all know this is Signals Finisher podcast. And we not starting off the show regularly because we're going to tell everybody what's your favorite and worst move of the week. Brought to you by DS Walk and Jamie.
Of the week, wrestling wasn't good this week.
Or as I say in the pre-interview meeting,
I'll give you one. The Jade Cargo making herself flip for no reason. That's even the name of the move. Jade making herself flip for no reason.
Now, you made that's your best. I thought that was like the worst because she didn't even execute that.
I was being a smart ass. Best move of the week, there wasn't one. I'll give you one of my favorite moves of all time is the Shaker Heights Spike.
The Shaker Heights Spike. And that's courtesy of a WWE tag team. So let's go down the tag team list. I'm gonna go through it out loud. And all that Jimmy got to do is says. So let's cross off who didn't do that move. Demolition didn't do that.
Nope.
The British Bulldogs didn't do that.
Legion of Doom always get considered the best tag team finisher. I would say this is number one, and the Doomsday Device would be number two.
Okay.
Because this move, Shaker Heights Spike, actually hurt people, like for real.
All right. So we can cross out the Legion of Doom / War Warriors.
Mm-hmm.
We can cross off the Rockers.
Mm-hmm.
The Hart Foundation.
Mm-hmm.
We can cross out the tag team of Rick Martel.
Yeah.
The model Rick Martel.
Mm-hmm.
And his tag team partner. So
what was their name? It was Tito Santana and Rick Martel. It was something Force. Strike Force.
Strike Force. Yes. We can cross out the Mega Powers, one of the worst tag teams ever.
Yes. You can cross off the Ultimate Maniacs.
That
probably was the worst tag team of all time.
Yes. We can cross out the Tully Blanchard, Arn Anderson.
Mm-hmm. You're not going to get it. I guarantee you're not going to get it.
The first thing that came to my mind was the Mounties.
Oh, the Quebecers, you mean?
Yes.
Yeah, no, it's not them.
You said 90s tag team.
Early 90s to mid 90s. They had a couple different stints in WWE.
Were they tag team champions?
I'm 99% sure they won the title at least once. They should have got it a lot more than what they did.
All right, so that crossed out the Wild Samoans. Go ahead, tell us.
Beverly Brothers.
Yeah, you absolutely right. I would never thought about them. And that goes to show you how much I care about them, but they wasn't even part of the Rolodex.
They were great. So you can't hate on the Beverly Brothers because they were good.
The Beverly Brothers.
Yep. Wore the purple and white pants. And no, they did not win the tag titles. Not in WWF anyway. They should have. And if you've never seen the Shaker Heights Spike, you need to watch it because, yeah, they would plant people on their heads. It was basically, think of a Jake the Snake Roberts DDT from a flapjack. So, like, just launching the guy straight up into the air to fall directly on his head.
All right, so this crew consists of Mike Enos and Wayne Bloom.
Wayne Bloom.
They were also at the Destruction Crew in AWA and the Minnesota Wrecking Crew in the NWA.
Mm-hmm.
They debuted in 1989. So, yeah, they was in WWF from, what was it here? 1991 to 1993.
Uh-huh.
And then that was it. They had 2 stints in WCW.
Yeah.
And from 97, 98. And then the first one was 1990.
Beverly
And
Brothers were great. And the Wrecking Crew was great.
so what made you like about the Berry Brother was their finishing move, I'm presuming.
I mean, they were just good all around. But yeah, their finish. It's when you're a little kid, it's what made you think wrestling was real.
Right.
Because they would just throw you straight up in the air and you would fall directly on your head. And it's like, you can't fake that.
Yeah. I mean, it looks, well, that goes to show you how much I pay attention. Was I really didn't. I mean, when we look it up, there was kind of like a low card performer, so they really didn't get a push by Vince McMahon. Actually, they didn't get a push, that big a push nowhere they went. Not even from AWA, NWA, WWF, or WCW.
Yeah, well, they were the Wrecking Crew. They had a solid run in AWA and NWA. WCW, by the time they did their second stint in WCW, they were so NWO heavy it didn't matter.
Right. I want to say their biggest feud was with the Olympians in AWA. Greg Gagne and Paul Diamond was also one of their good rivals. They wrestled in New Japan. They wrestled in Minnesota. So yeah, they've been around for a while.
And no, their biggest feud was by far with the Steiners.
Well, I'm talking about AWA. That was their biggest feud.
Yeah, they had a pretty big thing with the Steiners going on for a while.
They had, when they were the Minnesota Wrecking Crew and rematch about Ole Anderson. They were actually the Minnesota original Wrecking Crew was Ole Anderson, and I guess I don't think it was Iron, but I want to say it was. Yep. They attempted to win the NWA Tag Team Championship from the Steiner Brothers during a brief feud.
I wasn't even talking about that. I was talking about in WWF.
Yeah, actually, they fought them in NWA as well. And in the WWF.
They had a great match at Royal Rumble in 93. But we don't have to do a deep dive on.
No, we don't. No, we don't. You're right.
You just wanted to move. I gave you a move.
No, because I'm looking at this and I'm seeing how they looked before they got to the WWF. It's like a legit tag team, like, legit tag team that should have been pushed. But then when you get to the WWF, I don't know what it is about Vince McMahon and the color purple and blondes. And yeah, I can see why they didn't get a push. Not because they're entire, it's because it's not a team that Vince McMahon made or put together. They came in as a team. It's kind of sad, actually. Even in WWF back in those days, even though tag team wrestling was one of the main staples back then, it kind of surprising on the look, because they profiled, they fit the look.
I mean, they were two jack guys that, again, they could go, and they wrestled a very Minnesota style of everything was very stiff, and they laid it in.
Yeah, something I read about just now. They kind of remind me of they wrestle how Rick Rude and Kurt Hennig wrestled out there.
Again, it's that Minnesota style.
Yeah,
they wrestle very stiff. Yeah. They lay it in,
and that was very popular back in those days too.
Rick Rude, Mr. Perfect, Kurt Hennig, Scott Norton, Ric Flair, Legion of Doom, all those guys. They all wrestle real stiff. It's just a Minnesota style.
Yeah,
Brock Lesnar, if you want to go more current, Brock Lesnar.
Chad Gable,
that's just the style.
Yeah, and back in those days, we already know that style was very popular. I mean, if you don't believe me, look at Hulk Hogan.
Mm-hmm.
Came out of wrestling in Minnesota. Just saying. So yeah. Now I forgot about this tag team, but yet, like I said, it's kind of shocking because the build, the look, everything that Vince McMahon and those guys back then, Bruce Pritchard,
I
and
think a lot of it had to do with because, as we've talked about on other shows we've done, WWE very rarely lets somebody come in with their own character unless you're
yeah,
fully established like a Cody Rhodes. Vince took something and went so drastically off kilt of what they were doing that they couldn't
couldn't
build
recover.
anything. Yeah,
No.
and I mean, you had them coming on. They were wearing like these silky like cape type things that they would take off, and they were
Mhm.
purple. And you got two not super jack dudes, but two buff dudes with like blonde hair wearing these purple. Nobody was going to get behind it. And they
Mhm.
wrestled as heels. They were never faces at all. And then you had them going against teams like the Bushwhackers that everybody loved, the Steiners everybody loved.
Yes.
I like the closest they had was like Earthquake versus Typhoon to actually beat them without the fans turning on them. So they were great though. And yeah, the Shaker Heights Spike. If you haven't seen it, just Google Shaker Heights Spike after the show, and you could see it. They would drop people directly on their head.
Oh man. Well, I'm gonna give you mine. And my worst, I'm gonna start with that one because that was more recent. My worst of the week is the AEW World Trios Championship scene. Because just like the WWE tag team scene, there is no trio scene in AEW.
It's something that needs to be retired temporarily.
Yeah, they had a scene a few years ago, but now it's kind of like what Tony is doing is he's taking guys who had a nice run that he was pushing. Like for example, Ricochet was just on TV for 6 months, was just on TV hardcore. He was getting a good push. He
Mm-hmm.
was a national champion. He went over some guys we never thought he'd go over. Now he's in the trio scene with his faction, and there is no scene. It's like they're not getting the push. The Ring of Honor trio champions get more push than the AEW trios champion. That should tell you something right there.
Yeah.
And now, if you want to go a little further, the trio scene for AEW really didn't mean anything when Heyman Adam Page left that scene, become world champion. And once he lost his title, he never returned back to the trios championship scene. And he's been gone. Well, now he's back, but prior to that, he was gone for over 100 days. So now he's back and he's still not in the trio championship scene. It's kind of funny how a guy who can't challenge for the world championship, who's made everybody known that he can't win the world championship, has not went back and formed or went back to his group of Brody Lee and Bandito.
I'm pretty sure that they're going to turn Adam Page heel again and have him get the title some way.
I mean, I'm in the camp of if you're gonna turn him here, I'd rather be a tag team with Swerve Strickland since they got a truce and neither guy is doing anything of importance. If you want to, and look, you know how me and you both feel about a makeshift tag team. It doesn't work. I hate it. You hate it because
Yes.
they're not a real tag team. But if you want to give these guys something meaningful to do, put them as a makeshift tag team. Let them wrestle some of the top tag teams in your division. Just give them something. Because when you think of Adam Page, are you really going to have Adam Page wrestle for the national championship or the international championship or the TNT championship? I'm not saying he can't do those things. I'm not saying that Tony Khan can't book him to do those things. But realistically, as a wrestling fan, at the do you actually see Adam Page being in that scene at all, being a mid card level guy?
The problem with making them a tag team is that you need them in the main event scene. Like
Right.
I've said it on multiple shows that we've done in the last 2 months. This is a very pivotal time for AEW to kind of lock their game plan in. WWE is faltering. Everybody can see that they're faltering. Their programming shows that they're basically reacting to everything. This is a time where AEW could start to really bring fans over. They would be smart to offer a good chunk of money to the New Day to bring them in. Because again, Aleister Black, I know they made the whole thing about, oh, well, we don't want him here. He didn't want to lose this and that. I'm not saying Aleister Black is going to be what puts your company over the top. But when you bring in an Aleister Black, maybe Aleister Black's relationship with so-and-so leads them to when their contract's up, they come over. And then that person coming over leads to maybe a Drew McIntyre coming over. Can Drew McIntyre bring ratings for you?
Yes.
100%. So it's all the little micro moves. Bringing the New Day over, we'll get some eyes on it. Is it going to be life-changing? No, but it will get people to pay attention. They get their friends to watch. All of a sudden, you're having little watch parties, whatever. Now you've got more people watching AEW. And then you just keep building from that. WWE is desperately trying to reset the market on talent. And as long as AEW is around, they can't do it.
No. And one other thing about that with Aleister Black is that if you bring Aleister Black back to, if Tony Khan brings him back, that means that there is something for Buddy Matthews to do. Mm-hmm. Instead of sitting at home and waiting for a phone call like, hey, we got this storyline lined up before you come back to work. No, you bring Aleister back to AEW, automatically him, Buddy Matthews, maybe Brody Lee, they'll be doing something meaningful. And you bring in Zelina.
Well, and that's what I was about to say is by getting Aleister Black, you strengthen your women's division because you get Zelina in there.
Yes.
So yeah, she's super tiny, but she can go. And she's going to make the women's division just that much better.
Yes, she will.
And again, that's another thing. Some of the women in WWE, maybe getting Zelina there, you get Bayley. Bayley in turn brings somebody else.
Speaking of Bayley, she made the news today. And she made the news yesterday. The news is that she has not signed her WWE contract.
Thank God.
So now it's down to either she's going to sign it and come back and feud with Lara, or she's going to go to take the big money and go to AEW.
She needs to go to AEW. If she gets stuck with Lyra's just a ship out there just floating rudderless. Like
they have
seen her yesterday. Like,
yeah,
I don't know what they're trying to do with that, but like, you look like a sweaty crackhead.
If they want to turn her heel like they did, I don't know. Maybe I have her look 100% different. What they did really is they took. You remember when Bayley was going through those changes?
You mean the storyline that they just stopped 1 week in the middle of like the segment? They're just like, yeah, you're not doing that anymore.
Yeah, they just gave it to Lyra. That's all.
Yeah, yeah. You're not going to do that. We're just going to flip them.
Yeah, and it's stupid. I mean, that's what we all every show you say this. Look, that's just lazy booking and lazy creative. I mean, it doesn't.
Bayley still has a lot to give.
Yeah, if you want her to turn her heel, there are better ways to do it. If you want to give her a new look, there are tons of better ways to do that too.
Well, that and what is this character supposed to be? A sweaty crackhead? Like, you can't even tell.
Evil witch. I thought she was just an evil witch.
Yeah, are you supposed to be like a crone from Norse mythology? Like, I don't know what she's supposed to be. She looks like a sweaty crackhead. That's the only thing I could really come to. But she's not doing anything. You had one backstage skit complaining about the IC title, and you haven't even been in a title match in months?
Wait a minute. So the first one, she had a promo, I'm coming after Raquel and anyone who's a women Intercontinental champion. I made that title. I'm the first. You went from that to doing a segment with Sol Ruka, which wasn't bad. My whole point is why did you have it, and why would you try to scare Io?
Yeah,
That's
like
all
that
I'm
whole
saying.
segment last night didn't make any sense because it's like, why aren't you saying this to Raquel? Or at least, trying to build up a match. Does anybody want to see a Lyra Valkyria versus Sol Ruka match?
Of
Especially
course
with the
not.
way Sol Ruka's wrestling right now. Like, it's not good.
No.
Hopefully, this is just a bad patch of wrestling. I mean, Rhea Ripley went through one before she got hurt where her matches were bad. Besides that match at WrestleMania with Jade that was decent and Jade looked good, Rhea wrestled a lot of bad matches.
Well, we've been saying that for a long time.
I know, that's what I'm saying. She wrestled a lot of bad matches. So
Yeah.
hopefully for Sol Ruka, this is the same thing. She's just got a bad batch of matches going, but she looks like she needs to be back in NXT, honestly.
It looks like to me, and we said this last week about chemistry in the ring. She has no chemistry, a lot of wrestlers in the ring.
And I think that part of that, is just training. She needs to
Yes.
go back and learn some more.
And that's why we said all the time, house shows are very, very, very important, because house shows, you develop that chemistry. House shows, the fans know who you are. House shows, fans recognize your music. House shows, the company will get an idea of how far you come. Whether should you stay on the main roster, or do we need to send you back down to NXT, or do we need to release you? Mm-hmm. That's what house shows is all about. And I'm not saying they're going to release Sol Ruka, because I don't believe that. But what I'm saying
they're not going to get rid of Sol Ruka.
No, they're not get rid of her. But what I'm saying is that when you don't have good chemistry in the ring, and the only move you can do is your finisher move, and which your finisher move is the move that you've been hitting lately, because prior to that, it's been botches, not from the setup to the execution.
Yeah.
If that's the only thing if that's the only thing that's getting you over is your finishing move, and you have no signature move, and you have no other moves in the ring that the fans sit here and say, "Oh, that was sweet. Oh, that was good. Oh man." Again, house shows.
Well, and I think that's the problem with Sol Ruka is anytime I'd watch NXT, all they would talk about is the Soul Snatcher. Is the Soul Snatcher cool? 100% it is. But she has shown she's not super reliable. I don't know if it's a mental thing where the stage is too big or what, but personally, I think she's got to go back to NXT. WWE is not going to do house shows anytime soon because they don't want to spend the money.
It's, to me, the reason why everything hit on NXT is because she trained with those people, trained everybody in NXT.
Exactly.
And we guys got to think about it. Roxanne Perez wasn't there when Sol Ruka was in NXT. Maybe she was. I think she was.
She was at the tail end,
but they really had no feud, I should say. No. They had no run-ins. You're not going to hit the Soul Snatcher on Raquel Rodriguez. Yeah, it's just no chemistry at all. The only person in that group you had actually some decent chemistry with was Liv Morgan. You're not going to fight Liv for the title no time soon, period.
Mm-mm.
So basically, if you don't get the best out of Sol Ruka, you got to wait for all these next call-ups that got people she have faced down in NXT. Fated Influence, she faced down in NXT.
Mm-hmm.
So her matches might be a lot better with them compared to being with Becky Lynch. And we already know how a lot of people feel about Becky Lynch and her wrestling. I'm not here to diss Becky, but I'm just saying, like, Sol Ruka needs to be in ring with wrestlers that she has that chemistry with, being with wrestlers who knows how to work with her. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of putting Becky Lynch back in the title picture.
Oh, we're going right to it, huh? All right.
You're segueing from the IC title. You might as well just go to the big one.
Yeah. So yesterday's promo, we seen Becky Lynch and Stephanie Vick here going at it. Mike on the mic. and basically, both ladies want a piece of Liv Morgan. How so ironic that the WWE gonna make this a triple threat match without telling everybody. Becky wants the title. Becky, we already know Becky sat on the mountain for a very long time, and we all know how the internet fans feel. We know how Jamie feels that they don't want to see Becky with no titles on time soon. In fact, that I have seen a petition started by my tag team partner here that he wants Becky to retire. Look at that. He got shocked. He got shocked. He forgot about his petition on that.
I never made a petition. I just vocally say my thoughts. That's all.
Yes, he vocally said his thoughts, and the internet must have heard him because damn it, there's a petition. You want her to retire. I don't want to see Becky retire.
I don't want her to retire. I just don't need to see her wrestle for titles anymore. Unless you're going to win a title for the sake of building up somebody to replace you. Like, you've already done all that stuff. Like,
well, again,
and the quality of your content has dropped so bad that, like, you don't deserve it. Just because you're around a long time doesn't mean you deserve all the accolades. Especially when she's had so many to begin with. Like, cool, you wrestled Sol Ruka. I would say you didn't really do anything for her career. Let's be honest. It was a lackluster feud at best.
Well, I don't think Sol Ruka been the main roster, and Triple H had done anything for her career.
I mean, that's a whole different talking point. If you ever want to get into the nitty gritty of Triple H and what he's done, we can do a whole show on just Triple H and how inept he is at his job. But
I don't have a problem with Becky in the title scene, and like you said, as long as she is two things: one, she's gonna transition that title to somebody else, or two, she using that to build some younger wrestlers up.
But again, we were already in the middle of a Liv Morgan, Stephanie Vacher feud that actually was interesting. Adding Becky Lynch is actually going to distract from the interesting factor of Stephanie versus Liv. Because Becky Lynch is more of a distraction than anything. Like, there's really nothing to her character at this point. It's just, I do the whole Donald Trump thing of this person says that, I say it, Swartz illustrate. That's all there's no substance to her character at all. So it's going to be a distraction of what was building between Liv and Stephanie. Well,
I kind of think that feud went cold.
It went cold because Stephanie was hurt, and they didn't do anything. It's not like when you have one guy that can talk and one guy that can't talk, and the person that can talk carries the feud while somebody else is hurt. Or, if you're Roman Reigns, you just don't show up for a month and a half, and somebody else has to carry the feud for you, like LA Knight. She was hurt. And then they didn't do anything with Liv. So that feud went cold because of Triple H.
Right. That's what
I mean. It's not that the feud went cold because of Stephanie or Liv. It went cold because of Triple H. Adding Becky to it doesn't help it at all. If anything, it's just a distraction. I get it. Becky needs something to do. But why isn't Becky going against... Stephanie Vacher is not a new talent. She's new to WWE. But it's not like she doesn't know how to wrestle or work within the system or anything like that. Why isn't Becky going against a Roxanne Perez? Maybe, help get Roxanne to take off.
So who would be the face? Who would be the heel? Because now, I don't even know.
It's clear that they're going to make Roxanne a face.
Okay, so...
And she needs to be.
What's Becky right now?
Becky's basically a heel / neutral.
That don't make no sense.
Her promos, she cuts heel promos. That's what she does.
And I like. But
she's not a defined heel.
But the problem
she's not like a defined heel.
Right. So the problem is, I had that whole thing is that when she could have heard promos this weekend, last week, ever since she came back, they've been cheering. It makes no sense. That's
a WWE problem. Go back to when Seth got hurt. Oh, well, we don't want to have Braun Breaker or Bronson Reed in the tournament because we're worried that the fans might cheer them. Yeah, because you did a shit job at making them the heels like you were supposed to. That's down. It's not on them. I mean, yeah, could they say things a certain way, do something a certain way to, make the fans more agitated? Sure. But the overall creative direction is established by Triple H and his writing team. So if you don't establish how far you want them to go, if you're trying to make somebody a heel and they can't get over as a heel, at minimum, creative is 50% at fault and the performer's 50% at fault. That's the bare minimum.
Right. And again, we got to touch on this. Becky Lynch's contract's gonna be up in 3 years. She said this is her last contract. So quite to people who probably don't like me saying this, but maybe this is a way that Triple H is going to put her in big matches, have her have one good run with the title, then that's it.
Could be.
Or maybe, or maybe, just maybe, you said Becky's a distraction. Maybe both of these ladies are just a distraction in general. Maybe there's something bigger that they're not putting it out there, where maybe Roxanne might win Money in the Bank and maybe she might go out to Liv. Maybe this could just be, we're going to start up a Stephanie versus Becky feud. We don't know.
Well, it needs to switch off of Stephanie and Liv to something else. So hopefully it does spin off to where it's Becky versus Stephanie. I'd be fine with that. But at this stage, Becky needs to be working with the younger talent. Period.
Well, to her credit, she has been. Now, maybe this time they might give her a break and she might not be messing with the young talent, but to her credit,
yes,
ever since she won,
she has done well.
She has done that. And Becky Lynch, of all the veteran wrestlers on both sides, men or women, you had never heard her complain about dropping the IC title to a younger, up and coming superstar. I mean, she lost it to Lyra. She put over Sol Ruka. She has put over Popular Demand. She had put over Maxine Dupree, which only lasted for 2 days.
Lasted longer than Sami Zayn did.
Yeah. So, damn. So Becky and younger wrestlers, I don't think she'll have an issue putting them over. I think what a lot of us are scared of is that if Becky does become champion, if she wins the championship, do you want to see Becky have a long title run? That's what the main question should be.
And she probably would have a long title run because, again, Triple H shows that once you win a title, we don't have to book you anymore.
Yeah, and that
we're just going to let you sit on it.
Yeah, it goes back what he said. If you're over with the crowd, if you're over in general, unless your name is LA Knight, you'll have a title.
That tells you all you need to know. I get it. They're doing an event in Mexico City. As red hot as LA Knight has gotten himself again to be, instead of having an LA Knight Roman Reigns, nope, we're going to have a luchador only tournament so that one of you guys that weighs half of what Roman does can go wrestle Roman. Like, out of the people in that match, Penta is the only one that's really going to garner any interest. And there's some good luchadors in there, but like on a grand level of wrestling Roman Reigns, Penta's the only one that's going to make sense.
He came to my mind, but who I have number one actually is Penta's brother, Ray Phoenix, because he was a world champion.
But they're not it's WWE though. They're not doing anything with Ray Phoenix.
Yeah, it's kind of amazing. There was advertising.
Ray is better than Penta.
Yeah. What's funny about this whole thing though with Ray Phoenix is that when he won the Triple A title, they were prancing around on SmackDown. He was getting matches on SmackDown. He was cutting all types of promos and commercials and everything. But the last 2 weeks, where's Ray?
You also have to find it funny that they're promoting AAA so much that, AAA is doing better than WWE. So now we're going to have this tournament so that we can get all the AAA guys on Raw and SmackDown so that people actually watch our show again.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, and by the way, I'm going to give you my worst because I didn't give you my worst. But our worst is part of what we were talking about. Our worst of this week, and it's not of his doing, is Dom Mysterio. because Dom Mysterio took an L yesterday to Dragon League, in which Dragon League is awesome. He is great. And I love the promo with them between Dragon League, Dom, and Rey Mysterio had in the back. And by the way, did Rey Mysterio just retire without even saying he retired, since now he's the general manager of AAA?
No, he said he had plenty left in the tank.
Interesting, because we sure haven't seen him wrestle.
He became he throws himself into random WrestleMania matches at the last minute.
Sure. As long as it's not a retirement match.
Gunther, I can't wrestle you. I'm hurt.
I'm out past WrestleMania.
Yeah, it's gonna take me a couple months. Next day, I'm inserting myself as the sixth man into this ladder match where I could potentially break my neck, but I'm good to go.
Hey, Hunter, I want one more shot, brother. Give me one more shot.
This Gunther thing. But
oh god,
no, they keep promoting AAA so much, which is fine. AAA has been great. They have insanely good talent down there. They have a guy that, more so than Triple H, Undertaker is a Vince McMahon guy. There's a reason he was able to come in and establish something so fast. But you're getting all this attention on AAA, and yet your own ratings for your own flagship shows are suffering. So then, hey guys, we're going to have this tournament. It's going to be all luchadors. That way you can bring them up to your shows to get people to actually watch you. That's really what it is.
It's funny
the Laredo Kid Penta match was great.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's a good match.
Best match on Raw.
Your second option there is basically Jey versus Solo. You're never going to say Jey Uso had a great match. So,
I mean, he had a good match
because of Solo, not because of him.
I'm saying. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. But what I'm saying is that, go ahead, finish up.
Well, no, it comes down to, in AAA, they still wrestle. It's not the same 5 moves of doom on repeat, because that's all WWE is. And it started with Vince McMahon, basically in the Attitude Era, roughly, is when the whole, he did it with Hogan and stuff, and the main guys, it was a way to keep them from getting hurt. Just do your couple moves and that's it. But during the Attitude Era, that's when it became, do your finisher like 8 times in a match. Do your signature another 5 times in the match. And it's only gotten worse as the years have gone on. So WWE has just basically become signatures and finishers, like our show. Part of we're not just coming up with names. That's kind of where it came from. That's all WWE does, is signatures and finishers. But in AAA, they still wrestle. You can tell them to go out there for 15 minutes, and you might only see the same move twice. Where if Jey Uso's in a match, you're going to see the same move 17 times. And it's going to be the same 3 moves 17 times. Super kick, super kick, super kick, splash, 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 super kick, super kick, super kick, spear, 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 super kick, splash.
And there you have it.
I just gave you Jey Uso's entire career.
You sure just Jey Uso's entire career?
Jimmy's entire career, Jay's entire career, half of Roman's career. Jay's promo last night of, you got that nice house because of us. No, you got that nice house because of Roman. Nobody cares about the Usos. If you took Jimmy and Jay off of Raw and just said, boom, gone, out of the company, you know what you do to replace that? Hey, Trick Williams, we're going to take you off of SmackDown, and we're going to put you on Raw. And the fans would forget about the Usos immediately.
I got one better, but it's going to follow your line with Trick Williams. Hey, Trick, you and Melo were a hit when y'all was a team down to NXT. This is when you guys to Raw, and y'all just be a team again. Not a tag team, but a team. Both of y'all will go for singles titles. Both of y'all will complement each other.
Yeah, if you put them in a team like that, I was going to say, I don't want them as a tag team, but if you put them in like just a 2-person faction kind of thing, I'd be totally okay with that.
And if you want them occasionally, once or twice a year, to wrestle as a tag team, you can do that.
Mhm.
But I'm, at this
But
point,
Jey Uso trying to act like a tough guy, it's so unbelievable.
yeah, we're gonna get to Jay. See, now you getting ahead. You getting ahead.
I
You
just
you
go
you doing
with
you
the
doing
thought
your Jey
process.
Uso. You getting ahead. Slow it down for a minute. We're gonna
Okay,
get to Jey
fine.
Uso. We're gonna
Fine,
get to Jay.
fine, fine. Don't mind me, I'm just
So
dropping computers over here.
you got butterfingers.
Eh, yeah, well.
Hey, at least you can say you got better hands than OBJ. Just saying.
Hey, if I could make an entire career off of one catch, I'd do it too.
We know that. But it's what comes with it you don't want.
It's true. That is also very true.
Yeah. Not we're not talking about the money, ladies and gentlemen. It's the other things after the money.
Yeah.
So here's my problem though, is that you have Don Mysterio who is booked pretty strong and actually pretty good, and he also wrestled pretty decent down in Triple A. Like when he's in Triple A, you see his potential, you see what he can become if he continues to put the work in, put the time in, the whole 9 yards. And then when you see him on Raw, it's like, damn, Triple H does him dirty. But then you see him down in Triple A, Undertaker does him right. But hold on, but wait a minute, there is more. When you see Ray Phoenix, when you see him on SmackDown, it's like, But then when you see him down in Triple A, the man wrestles like he is a world champion.
Mhm.
It's like a night and day booking with guys who've been in the Vince McMahon system, who picked up on how to run creative, who picked up on how to promote and to make guys look good. In other words, I'm saying they picked up on how to book guys better. Where compare as when you see how Triple H booked Dom Mysterio, and for the life of me, please get rid of the Judgment Day. Just the guys, just the guys.
Yeah, at this point, like I don't know how it still exists as a faction. They
It's
don't even function as a group. Like the
they're
girls
like,
do.
this group should have been broken up when Liv and Dom got together, and when Liv beat Rhea, and when Finn turned on Damian Priest. That's what it should have ended. That's what it should have ended like 3 years ago. But now we 3 years in. It's night and day with Dom Mysterio. And at this point in time, it's either keep him as a Triple A champion. But if I'm the Undertaker, I'm telling Triple H, yo, make my guy look strong on Raw, because you make him look weak on Raw, and I got to build him back up when he comes down to Triple A. And if I'm Dom Mysterio, again, I said this last week, send me to Triple A on a full time basis, because I'll get good matches. I will look strong, and I will actually do some wrestling instead of being a side piece, a guy
Well,
who just
he's
cut
gonna drop the
promos.
title anyway, so
Yeah, but even if he drops the title down in Triple A, he will still get a good run down in Triple A, just getting himself back up to the title
well,
picture stage.
he'd have a good run. But he's about to drop the title to El Grande Americano.
Yeah, and
Like, there's
rightfully
no way
so.
they're not going to let him win that match. Like,
No, no, and rightfully so. But even like I said, even if he does, even when he does drop it to El Grande Americano, I would still keep it down to Triple A, because there's a potential of Dom Mysterio putting on some classic good matches down in Triple A. I can't believe I said that, but the potential of him putting on some good matches
yeah,
down
but
in
it
Triple
might be
A,
on him that he doesn't want to stay down there either.
which
I
would
mean, if
remind me
it's
of
me, I don't want to hang out in Mexico all the time.
yeah, I mean, with the
I've been to
money
Mexico.
right.
I've been to Mexico a lot. It's dirty.
It's not about the city or the country, how clean or dirty it is. It's about what's best for your career. If Triple H is booked, if you've been booked like a jobber day in, day out, you literally lost 2, 3 matches to Danhausen.
I can't justify that because, again, it's WWE.
You came back, and no offense against Dragon Lee. Dragon Lee's is up and coming superstar. They paid a lot of money to get Dragon Lee to the WWE, and now they decided they want to use him the right way. Dom Mysterio, he, I'm just saying, man, that there are guys who are booked to look good, and there are guys who are booked to look bad, and there are just guys just booked to lose. And right now, he's being booked to lose.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I don't disagree with you at all. They're taking advantage of Dom because he is charismatic. And they know if they basically just drive him into the ground, he'll be able to get the fans back behind him within a week.
But we talking about a guy who was about for 2 years straight who had the biggest heat in the company, even though they did pump in the boo noise.
If you're really looking at it, he's basically your third biggest heel in the company.
Yeah.
You've got Drew McIntyre, Gunther, and then I would say it's probably Dominic Mysterio.
But between all three, that's the one guy that gets his short end of the stick.
I mean, people could argue about Gunther. All three of them. Even Drew McIntyre has been screwed repeatedly. Dom gets a lot of TV time, though.
He does.
And that's something that you can't say for some of the other guys. Like, yeah, he might be getting screwed, and you might be making him look like a jobber. He's getting a shit ton of TV time.
Yeah.
And again, he does have the charisma that he can get the fans back. Whether if he wants to be a heel, he knows how to say the right things, do the right things to get the fans to turn and react to him. I saw an interview. It had to have been a couple months by now. He's waiting to turn into a babyface. Like he said, he's got all new ring attire that's already done. He's kind of done with the La Parka thing because if anybody hasn't noticed, his outfit is a tribute to La Parka.
Mm-hmm.
But like he's waiting to take the mustache off. He's waiting to cut his hair. He's waiting to do all of that. All of it's part of his character right now. But he's already got a new outfit that's already been designed and everything, just waiting to go.
Yeah.
And he even said, he's like, we kind of thought the Judgment Day was going to be over by now and I'd be doing something different, but leave it to WWE to beat a dead horse.
Yeah. And if I remember correctly, they had a match for him. It was, I want to say a few years ago, where it was a hair versus retirement match between him and his father.
Mm-hmm.
They had put it out there that Dom was going to go over. He was going to cut his hair and stash, and he was going to wear the mask. That was the whole point of the hair versus retirement match, is that he retired his dad, but he will go and he'll be wearing the Mysterio mask on a full-time basis. And unfortunately, that got scrapped.
WWE is not a fan of masks.
Now what?
They're not a fan of masks.
I know.
That's why I find it so funny that they're going so hard at the luchadors right now.
Yeah.
But again, all you had to do was go back to the Monday Night Wars. When WCW was at its best, what did they have the first hour of the show? Every Nitro. Cruiserweights. And for a long stretch of time, what was the best part of Nitro?
Cruiserweights, the first hour.
Exactly. People like watching guys that can do the moves that the regular guys just can't do.
Hell yeah. It was, and it was the first hour, but it was also the last hour of Monday Night Raw.
Mm-hmm.
So when people wondering, oh, how come Raw ratings weren't good, was not good that second hour? May I present to you the WCW Cruiserweight division?
And for years, WWE would half-ass it with, the light heavyweight title when you had Crash Holly. Like, you're really trying to tell me Crash Holly was the best you could come up with? At one point, WWF, back then, it might have been WWE by then. They had S.A. Rios, who was one of the best Mexican wrestlers in the entire world. One of the best, and at that point, you'd be one of the best wrestlers, period, jobbing out to Crash Holly on a regular basis.
Yep. Slap in the face.
Yeah. But it's like right now, it's almost like to WWE, this is a new shiny toy that, we have to get all the luchadors up here and play with them all because we don't know what to do. And we don't know what to do because they all wear masks for the most part, so we can't show any emotion with them. That was never an issue in WCW, ever.
No.
And yeah, you had certain stars like Juventud never wore a mask, but you had like La Parka, who didn't show
Juventud
any
had a
skin at
mask.
all.
He wore a
Well, I
mask,
mean,
but he lost it.
he did,
He
but
lost
then
in
he
the match.
yeah, he lost it in a match, and then he stayed without the mask.
Yeah.
They took the mask off of Rey Mysterio. He didn't want to do it. They still did it, and then as soon as he could, he got the mask back on. But you had other stars. Conan, he didn't have a mask on. Wrestled in WWF as Max Moon, didn't go anywhere. It's like they've never known what to do with the Mexican wrestlers, and now they're kind of like, oh, we have all these guys, just go throw them in matches together and just make magic happen. And the magic's happening, and they're trying to capitalize on it by pulling all the guys out of AAA. Like, even before you acquired AAA, you had Penta, you had Ray Phoenix, you had Dragon Lee. What were you doing with them? Nothing. The only Mexican star that was getting any love was Ray and then Dominic. The rest of the guys were just there. What did you ever do with the LWO? What did you do with La Fantasma? Santos Escobar, you rehired the guy to have him sit around for months, then you put him in AAA, and then you release him.
2 weeks later.
Like, and right now it's almost like, oh, I got a new toy, got to play with all of them. And probably a month from now, we'll barely be talking about AAA again.
To Escobar.
I wouldn't be surprised if he shows up in AEW sooner than later too. And again, that's another solid pickup for them.
You know what? I'm at this point where I'm like, man, if I'm the WWE, I'll get rid of either the SmackDowns or the Raw Tag Team Championships, and one of them or both, and just bring back the light heavyweight. Call it a day. If you want tag team wrestling, go to AAA or go to NXT.
Right now, I was actually talking about this a couple days ago. Retire both the tag team titles, just gone, and bring out a cruiserweight title, light heavyweight title, call it whatever, a 205 live title, or just call it the 205 title, whatever you want to do. I don't care. Bring out a title like that because it features those guys without making them look like jobbers to a Roman Reigns, a Cody Rhodes, a CM Punk. It makes them relevant, but I think they're more concerned of an issue like WCW where that becomes the flag bearer. People want to see the 205 guys, not the heavyweights, not the Romans versus the Drew McIntyres and things like that.
Yeah, I remember when Triple H brought back 205, and I want to say for a short period of time he had some success because they introduced us to new wrestlers, and ever since then he has just it went away, and anybody that's a small wrestler, it just didn't catch on.
Well, again, Triple H is the size queen. He doesn't know what to do with small guys.
Yeah, that's true. And I also want to throw this little nugget out there. I remember correctly, the women's tag team championship supposed to be defended on Raw, SmackDown, NXT. NXT has not sniffed the women's title in God knows how long. Please give those titles to a tag team in NXT and let them have them, keep them, whatever. Why would you take the NXT Women's Tag Team Championships and merge them with the main roster tag team champion? Why? It's just stupid.
Well, and back to what I was saying, get rid of the both tag team titles for the men because you're not doing anything with them. And then you get your light heavyweight title and you get the mixed tag team titles. Again, you've got more than enough generic, organic mixed tag teams that you could use that would make for good storytelling. But you're not doing it.
Yeah, I know. It sucks. But hey, it's like
Matt Cardona could actually get a title in the WWE if you had mixed tag team titles because his wife is like the hottest commodity they got going right now.
Come on, man. You know his future is going to be down in NXT.
His future is every week on Facebook saying, I didn't win this week, but my goals haven't changed. No quitting me or whatever the hell he says. Like, I signed this contract so I could wrestle and travel around with my wife to be a jobber on a weekly basis.
Yeah. I bet
Went
you
from
he
being
regret
king
that
of the
decision.
Indies to jobber of WWE.
Yeah. In all due respect, I get it. You want to be on the road with your wife. You want to be able to be in the same company as your wife. But there's a part of me think that he regrets that whole thing.
I think he says the right things to stay in the good graces, but yeah, I'm pretty sure because his whole thing was validating himself when he got fired from WWE. That's why he became king of the Indies and winning every title possible. And like
Yeah.
they put you out there as the most over glorified jobber in the history of the company.
Yeah. They play with your emotions by saying, hey, you can work with your wife.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I like Matt Cardona. I like Matt Cardona a lot, and I was not happy. Because he was the JCW champion, and like the night that he won the title, the very next day is when he showed up on whatchamacallit. Was it Rumble?
Um, did he show up on? Yes. Yeah, it
Yeah.
was Rumble.
So it was like because again, JCW filmed 7 to 9 weeks in advance. He had won the title back in November, but they were just getting around to airing the episode. So he wins it this night, and then the very next night, boom, he's not in the company anymore.
Right.
But it's like that was just another heavyweight title that you had. Like you had all these titles that you were defending around the world, constantly traveling, doing what you wanted to do, and now you're back where you're going to get held back. And you're captive. You don't get to go wrestle anywhere else. You wrestle for WWE, WWE only, even though you're an independent contractor.
Yeah.
Biggest scam in wrestling.
Yeah. It's odd that not only that, but he was able to wrestle under his name, Matt Cardona, not the long guy in the iced tea. Woo, 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 woo. But he's
I'm
being treated like
sure.
that, right?
I'm sure that was part of the negotiation of him being able to keep his name.
Yeah, and he's wrestled like he is Zack Ryder. They just playing his ass.
Yeah.
Finally, we're gonna get to the top of that. Jamie just kind of went over everybody. We're gonna talk about Solo Sikoa. Solo and his match against Jey Uso. Now Jey Uso won.
Garbage.
It was predictable.
Yeah.
He had to win because if he doesn't win, then the directions they have for next week Raw would have changed. I have
what is
no
the best
issue.
part of the bloodline right now for you before you get going? What's the best part of anything bloodline related? What's the best thing going for him?
Solo.
100%. Without question.
Solo's the best thing going on Monday Night Raw right now.
Yes.
100%. And it's odd because when he's on SmackDown, you said this. Get him off TV. I don't want to see him. He sucks.
Mm-hmm.
Well, apparently everybody was wrong because the WWE didn't allow him to display his personality like we see him right now. He's doing on Raw.
Well, if you watch him on social media, he's hilarious.
Yeah, that too.
And now they're actually showing that. Like the pew last night, I was hoping he was going to give a pew and not just a pew. But last night, making fun of Jay, the whole line shot thing that he does is so dumb. Solo making fun of it was the best part of the night for me. Out of the entire show, just him going pew.
Yeah. I hope there's a big swerve coming with this whole situation. I'm just hoping because I don't want to see Solo back in the bloodline because Solo back in the bloodline means we won't get this much entertainment from Solo unless Solo gonna play his part and the Sami Zayn part.
The problem too is you're building all these people back into the bloodline. What are you going to have them do? Who are they going to feud with? You don't have any other factions. You going to have them beat up the Judgment Day?
And again, and I see this on. I heard on Busted Open. I heard on Meltzer and Alvarez is that me and you had said it, and they need to start giving us some money for the stuff we said before.
I'm tired of people stealing my shit and not paying me for it.
We said that Roman Reigns is a heel.
Yeah,
but he's getting face treatment.
Mm-hmm.
The Usos are a heel.
Mm-hmm.
But for some reason they keep letting Jay come out through the crowd.
It's because of the stupid theme song. You get past his entrance, there's nothing special about the Usos.
Right. But Jacob's really not a heel. If you bring
Jacob is the one
Solo won't get
suffering
here.
the most right now, and it's very likely to spread to Solo here too.
Right.
You've killed all momentum to Jacob's character.
Right. And that's why I'm hoping there's a big swerve here coming on, because I'm going to guess my word here. I would rather see Jacob and Solo together instead of what I'm seeing now.
Jacob, Solo, and Zila, because apparently Zila's finished up all of his commitments. So
Yeah,
it's
he had
only
his
a
last
matter of
match with
time.
House of Glory this past Friday.
Yeah,
And
he's ready to go.
yeah, and the people of House of Glory, two of them came out and said, yeah, we know where Zilla's going, but we can't say anything because he's our friend and we want him to surprise everybody. Well, shit, we already knew that, because how long they been saying Zilla gonna come to the WWE?
Well, he did an interview like 2 months ago. Like, nobody even needs to ask me if I'm going to sign anywhere. I'm only going to WWE. Like,
Right.
cool.
Yeah. And to all those people who think he's going down to NXT, no, he's going to the main roster.
Yeah, they're not going to. He probably needs the
Go
NXT
down to
treatment,
NXT, yeah.
Jacob could have used some time in NXT too, and they weren't going to let that happen.
No. So I hope there's a swerve. Let's just keep it honest. I'm tired of the bloodline. I'm tired of Roman. I'm tired of the Usos. I'm tired of seeing these guys being together. Look, I feel wrong when he said last week, y'all asked me to change. I'm trying to be, y'all want equals. I'm trying to make this thing equal. But it sounds like if the WWE wants Roman to go back to he was prior, then just do it.
Well,
because being equals, you making everybody look weak.
You're making everybody look weak, and you're basically just running the bloodline in name. You're actually having Roman wrestle matches by himself. It's the one thing that I told you of, like, if you want me to respect any part of Roman Reigns' career, it's you have to show that he can actually be in a match without swerves, without gotchas in every match, and actually show that he can carry an entire match. He's actually starting to do that. But yet you're rebuilding the bloodline and putting all these people back into it, this and that, and now you're not having them get involved in his matches. So what does he need them for? If you want to get the bloodline back together, get it back together. You know what? The most interesting person to lead the bloodline would be Solo, because he has a personality. The rest of those guys, Jacob tries too hard to act like a gangbanger when he's cutting promos and shit like that. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Yes. Solo is the only one that makes sense, unless you're going to do it with Zilla. But a lot of people don't even know who Zilla Fatu is yet.
Right.
So,
and you definitely ain't gonna use Jey or Jimmy.
If anything, use Roman of, I'm past the bloodline. I don't need you guys anymore. I still look down on all of you because I've done everything that you wish you could do. That's what I would be doing if you're that desperate to keep the bloodline around. But again, the bloodline fails without Roman, and they know that. So unless you're going to elevate Solo to the point where people can actually believe it, they're stuck just kind of doing this thing. And again, you're building up an entire faction to go against no one. What are you going to do? You're going to have a faction of LA Knight, Royce Keys,
Drew
McIntyre. Exactly. Like, you're going to have a faction of just like misfit toys. Like, it's dumb.
An irrelevancy.
Yeah, like, you're building up this entire faction to go against no one.
And that's the whole point. You bring all these guys back, but y'all have no direction. It's like you can't do Roman's bidding because Roman told everybody, hey, do not touch LA Knight. He's mine. I'll handle that fool. All right, so what are they supposed to do? Instead of saying, Usos, y'all the best tag team in the world, go get those tag team titles. Jacob, go on SmackDown and go get the world's champion. Go get that title. It shouldn't have to take Roman to bark those orders out. These guys are already main event level. If Jacob needs a title, they can put Jacob for the IC title, or they can put him on. Hey, go to SmackDown, win that title. I mean, by default, the Usos will probably win the damn near Raw Tag Team Championship. There ain't no tag teams.
Well, yeah, the division having the tag titles right now makes no sense whatsoever.
Right.
Like
But
you have one half of the tag team champs wrestling Akira Tozawa.
Right. But again, give to the Usos. You're not using the tag team titles. At least you can say, hey, we got the we got the titles on the group who has been a tag team champion multiple times, more than 10 times. You add some credibility because we already know that division is not going to be around. And actually, we're going to talk about division after this because technically division, the last one, we're going to talk about your boy Paul Heyman. Yeah, man, it got to be some type of swerve coming next week. Maybe it's a swerve where Solo challenges Roman for a title match down the road. Maybe it's a swerve where it'll be Solo and somebody else going to turn on Roman on the Usos, or maybe it's the Usos and Solo turning on Roman and Jacob. Because if you remember, Roman holds Jacob higher than the Usos.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe it's something like that. I don't know. And quite honestly, it kind of made sense to me to have all three brothers be a team.
Well, I was going to say they're the three closest, so it would only make sense that those would be the three that would break off.
Yeah. And
but again, I also don't want them to just break off, because if this turns into some NWO Red, NWO Mexico, NWO Japan, and all this, I don't know.
No. I seen them. I was hoping they'll break off. They'll go to SmackDown, but somehow they will either stay in this feud with the Bloodline, or they'll just be three, just gonna do their own thing. And be honest with you, that last part, them three break off and doing their own thing, sound more appeasing to me than having all these guys as one big group and nothing to do, just wasting TV time. Where, what's the name, Jamie? We could have had Jordan Grace. We could have Carmelo Mays. We could have all those wrestlers who are in the back who ain't doing nothing, could get some TV time.
Yeah, I mean, and this, again, in the locker room, this is how you build resentment too. Like, if I'm a guy in the back, I'm not saying everybody's thinking this, but it's like you're building out this long, elaborate storyline, and there's not even a focal point. Like, the point of all of your matches right now is to get more people into the Bloodline. You're not building up to, it's not like, I don't even know of a good example, because even the NWO was just beat up everybody.
Yeah, but they had a storyline though. I mean,
they had a storyline, and it was based on Sting.
Yes.
Like, at first it was the Outsiders, and then that built up to the Sting thing, and then NWO was just attacking people and then jumping people in. But like this is just, hey, we want you back in, so if you lose, you're gonna join us. And it's like, where's your end? LA Knight is certainly not your end opponent.
No.
Because WWE hates LA Knight. Like, right. They're not going to come out and say it, but they hate LA Knight.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, they do. So you're building up all these guys into one stable for what point? And it's not some big swerve. It's not like they're going to have a group of guys just suddenly debut and, oh, hey, we're here to fight the Bloodline.
Right. And then, it can't be for board games, because you can't find 4 or 5 guys who are willing to feud with the Bloodline other than Drew McIntyre and LA Knight.
And the vision is basically
we'll get to them. We'll get to them. That's horrible right now. But I'm just saying, like, you're not adding all these guys to build up for a War Games match that would be in November, where you don't even have 4 or 5 guys on a babyface team that would actually make sense. And I just gave you 2 guys, honestly, 3 guys that make sense. Royce Keys makes sense because he got put out by his best friend. Drew McIntyre, because he hates the entire family. And LA Knight, because he wants some credibility and he wants to beat the crap out of Roman Reigns. That's it.
Yeah, it's not good. Like on the last show we did, I said, "What are the highlights right now in WWE?" And it's
That's it.
basically Solo Sikoa.
And returner and guys who can't coming back from injuries on SmackDown, the Randy Ortons, the Kevin Owens, and that's SmackDown. But Raw, that's tough. Finally, I want to get your opinion. Actually, we're going to talk about Paul Heyman here because I see they're using Paul Heyman differently. Now, personally, I'm tired of seeing Paul Heyman staring at the TV screen, looking like, well, he did lose his best friend. He did lose the one guy that he trusts. And I don't know if he just scouting or he just watching matches. I see where they're going with this. And I see how they tried to build up Paul Heyman and Braun Breaker getting back together again. They're using
It's going to turn into whoever wins the match gets Paul Heyman services between Braun Breaker and Oba.
Yeah, and we already had this match between, I don't know, was there like a triple threat match last year for Paul Heyman?
Yeah. Yeah.
But I will say this though, and you got to agree with this. I know you agree with this to a certain degree. Braun Breaker's promo that he did with Paul Heyman 2 weeks in a row has looked very good. And the way he delivered and the way he came with it, you can tell that that's a lot of Paul Heyman influence. Yeah. That's a lot of Paul Heyman that this young man been working. And I like how they, again, you know how I feel about real life and putting in the storylines. When the WWE came out and basically just told the whole world that, Overfemi is the young superstar that we're going to be pushing. Again, what's his word about Triple H? If you over the fans, you're going to get pushed. And I love the fact that the WWE is using this with the Overfemi story, Overfemi the Braun Breaker potential storyline here. And I love how Paul Heyman said it this past Monday. If you want me to not care about Overfemi down those words, then make me not care about Overfemi. In other words, Paul Heyman respects Overfemi because what he did to Brock Lesnar, the way he said he was going to do it, and he did it, and he earned Paul's respect. Paul Heyman literally wants Braun Breaker to give him a reason to not respect Overfemi. So I'm interested in this storyline to see what Braun Breaker can do and how they're going to bring back Paul Heyman and Braun Breaker together.
See, this is another one that it's way too soon.
Too soon?
These are supposed to be your two guys going into the future. You're already going to have to bury one of them.
If I got to pick, well, come on, I don't got to pick, but I will say that Braun will have to go over for one match.
Well, no, Braun would have to win in a best of 3.
Yes, he will.
He would have to win honestly to give any sort of legitimacy to being the future of the company. Oba can at least have that goodwill to say, I've already beat Brock. So I can take a little bit of a loss here in star power, whatever, and I can earn that back. But if they have Oba versus Braun and then Oba beats Braun,
that's it. He's buried.
Yeah, you're done. Like you're gonna go join Alpha Academy.
It's like Braun need this.
Mm-hmm.
And even though he's early in his career, he need this more than anybody in that locker room next to Roxanne Perez. And I say that just like you said, and because they were building him up to be the big time main event. He was being built up to be the next mega star. He was built up to be the man. There was that direction where he was going to wrestle Roman Reigns for the title at some point last year, and due to injuries to himself, to Seth Rollins, and due to the fact that actually let me rephrase that. let me run back. Let me run that back on the rewind. Triple H didn't pull the trigger when he was hot because he wanted to do it on a big stage, and because he waited so long, that killed not only his momentum that he had, two, his injury that kind of made it didn't help either. So he needs this, and he's seen that that Brock Lesnar put over Finn because he wanted to. He wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what's going on behind the scenes, but it ain't look like to me he wanted to put over Braun Breaker. And they were in the out to get it. They were both represented by Paul Heyman. But what would be the best thing to see where the Paul Heyman guy were able to put over the new up and coming main eventer and the new Paul Heyman guy so that he could be not elevated to the main event scene. Now, Oba has that now.
It's not a good look for either one of them. I mean, Oba's on a high streak right now, but you didn't exactly make him look like a rock star. Yeah, he beat Brock 2 out of 3, but what did he do in between that?
He went to the King of the Ring and fought guys half his size and ain't doing anything.
This is another WWE thing. They love taking bigger guys and having them beat up small guys like it makes them look intimidating. Like, look at Big Cass. He's beating up Javon Evans. Javon Evans weighs like 160 pounds. Yeah, he's tall, but he weighs like 160 pounds. Yeah. Obafemi's first thing that he did after beating Brock Lesnar the first time, he beat up La Fantasma. Angel Garza, and I can't even remember the other dude's name right now. How does that make you look tough and strong in any reality whatsoever?
It doesn't. And that goes to show you the 9-day booking between Triple H and Shawn Michaels.
Mm-hmm. Oh, we're going to have the Obafemi challenge. Oh, Oba, people are just too scared to fight you. Have Omos come out 1 week. Have him lift up Omos, throw Omos across the ring, pin him. Okay. Now you got something. Pay Braun Strowman $500,000. We need you for one night. Pop in here. Throw Braun Strowman around. Okay, you got something here. No, we're going to have you beat up two guys that both weigh less than 200 pounds.
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. You got to throw in. He did fight Otis.
Yes. And could barely lift Otis up after Otis was already on the second rope to do the fall from grace. Yeah, just not good.
No. And is this feud is too early? Yes, it is. But it's a feud that need to happen because
it needs to happen because it was going to happen at some point anyway, but it doesn't need to happen right now because WWE is probably going to bury Braun Breaker because they don't know how to book.
Nah. And this is one of these situations where, like you said, Braun needs to go over Brock over because if he doesn't, that's over.
Yeah.
That's done.
Yeah, he's effectively done at that point.
And at this point, if he can't go, if they book him to be a jobber or to lose to Oba, I'll be like, yo, trade me to SmackDown for freaking Drew McIntyre and whoever. I gotta get away from here. And at this point, to me, it looks like it's a desperate situation where, okay, Braun, you're gonna have to earn Paul Heyman respect back all over again. And this is probably be your last chance. That's like a bad feeling. And please get him out of the division. Like you know what? I would rather see Braun Breaker by himself. Put Big Cass in the division because it's like he'll fit in perfectly over there. Or even better, just eliminate. Just go ahead and let Maxine and Austin Theory be a team, and let Logan Paul do his thing. And because it looks like every time they come out, Braun Breaker is sitting there thinking, "How in the hell can I get away from this crew?"
Just the whole thing. Like Logan Paul looks like he leads the group now, just by like the interactions and stuff that they have, and it's just taking Paul Heyman out of that group. I don't know what the point of that was. It's not like you did this whole arc where it made them look like they could stand on their own feet and this and that. No, the Vision story has basically been broken since day one because nobody can stay healthy in that group.
And yeah, and I think me and you both went on board that division group should have been just Paul Heyman, Braun Breaker, and
Bronson Reed.
Bronson Reed. That's it. Didn't
Yeah.
need a Seth Rollins. You don't need an Austin Theory, and you didn't need a Logan Paul. Just those three guys.
Mm-hmm.
And what I said, they didn't have to be a tag team. They could be just two guys, two singer wrestlers who are just together and who's out here trying to win titles. That's it. They don't. That should have been the group right there.
Braun Breaker, as it stands, is probably going to come back with no affiliation to the Vision at all. They're probably going to get Braun Breaker. Or did I say Braun Breaker? I meant Bronson Reed.
Yeah,
Braun Breaker's. Yeah, Bronson Reed's probably going to come back with no affiliation to the Vision whatsoever. Braun Breaker is going to end up leaving the Vision, which is just going to leave it as a tag team.
Yeah. But if you pay attention to Bronson Reed on social media, especially on Twitter and Instagram, he will tell you how he feels about his friend Braun Breaker. Has he been booked? Because he is really not enjoying it.
Well, no, because he's looking at what's going to happen to his career when he comes back.
Right. And trust me, he didn't take kindly to those words by Triple H about getting over and about building young superstars. Because in so many words, if you just pay attention to the pictures that he'll post on social media about Braun Breaker and with Triple H's words, you know how this man really feels about the direction of the WWE and what their COO has been running his mouth about. So shout out to Bronson Reed.
The whole, if you're over this and that, he's the one that has to put people in a position to get over. Or they have to go and do it similar to what, LA Knight did and do it organically through fan interactions, things like that. Or you got to take the other route and go on social media. LA Knight's also done that too. That's part of how he got over too. You just got to start running your mouth on social media.
Yeah. And before we leave the show, I do want to say this. Bronson Reed got over by doing a tsunami. How ironic when he was let go by the WWE and when he was in NXT, he was over. This dude had Jamie say had to do the fat man splash off the top rope to get over again. And this is the killing part. When he beat Roman and put Roman out, they did not even build or capitalize on some momentum. They didn't give him a singles title.
Nope.
That would have been the perfect time to get him a singles title where he beat your main star, your main guy on the roster. He beat him, put him out for a minute, and he didn't put a singles title on him. Now, granted, not everybody should get a singles title run. But when a guy beat your main guy, when this guy beat your main guy, that's the momentum that you want to run with to elevate his.
Yep. It's again, if you're not in Triple H's little inner circle of, I can rely on you to get us through a PLE. I can rely on you to carry a Raw main event for a night, something like that. Like, he relies on the same core group of guys. And those same core group of guys are the ones that are showing you why your ratings are so bad. You're not developing any new talent. And the talent that you're picking to pseudo-develop isn't living up to the hype, like Sol Ruka.
Yeah. Or Roxanne Perez, who hasn't given the opportunity to live up the hype because
she hasn't had an opportunity to do anything.
Nah, because not only that, but they keep continue putting people over her.
Mm-hmm.
And like, no offense, I love Stephanie, but let's keep it real. Stephanie replaced it. Roxanne Perez, she took all her momentum.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
that's one more thought.
No, I was just gonna say that's the routine. Is that somebody that starts making crossroads and something? They sign somebody new, and then that person gets all the headway. Look at Cruz Montana or Montana Cruz or whatever stupid ass name they gave Santana. Look at what's going on down there.
I don't think he wrestled a match yet. He had a custom promo, but hasn't wrestled a match yet.
Exactly.
But the only time we'll be a fan of WWE when WWE go to Japan, because I do want Jamie to get them tickets, because I want him to get them for free, because I want him to go. So that's the only time we become fans of the WWE is when they do the Japan shows and we can win tickets. Because I want my friend to be happy. I want my brother.
I will say I would go see WWE in Japan.
Yes, I want my brother to be happy. And right now he ain't happy.
No.
So getting those tickets and going to Japan will make him happy. Now, quote unquote, I can't sit here and say he'll be back to the States after the show or anytime. If we do go, I will say that it will take him some time to come back, but he will be back.
I'm just hoping Bronson Reed comes back soon, because I had to change the topic again. Dude started to look like Rusev before Rusev like lost all that weight. Like, dude is a monster.
Yeah. So looking forward to remember. Wait a minute, is he clear yet?
I don't know. Let me see if I can find it real quick. I thought I had read something saying that he was clear. They were just waiting, but then I think I saw something saying he wasn't.
Because if he's clear and they're waiting, what are you waiting on?
Well, I think everybody knows the Vision is just a giant mess right now. No, he's not officially cleared yet, but he's training at the Performance Center.
Okay. So he's close.
Yeah, he's just about there.
Okay. So, I mean, if he's close, if I need a guy to take out the Vision, that's when I'll bring him back. And again, hopefully we'll get that Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed, and Paul Heyman trio again, because that's where it should be. That's where it should be.
I mean, I was fine adding Austin Theory into it. Logan Paul, I get it. He signed a full-time wrestler contract, but like he was just out there and he got thrown in because they had nothing for him.
That's true. And I always kind of feel Logan Paul don't need the Vision.
No, he doesn't.
Nah. Look, if you're pushing at some point for Logan Paul to be your next champion, he don't need a faction. I mean, we seen
the Vision
this guy
needed Logan Paul more than Logan Paul needed them, because Logan Paul's a heel. They wanted the Vision to be a heel faction. He adds that disdain factor and heel factor to the group.
Right. But we just seen Logan Paul like a few years ago won the United States Championship as a heel. And say what you want, he was gone, but he had a nice little run. Even though he lost to LA Knight, he had a nice little run with that title. So he really doesn't need a faction. He just needs to be involved in a good storyline where they can elevate him as one of the top heels in the company. That's what
I give him respect that he's at least showing up every week, even though he has nothing to do but walk out with them.
Right. And remember, his podcast and Pulse now is part of WWE Radio. So,
yeah, that good old WWE Radio.
Yeah.
Quality content they got there.
Oh, 100%. It's so good that ours is better. Ladies and gentlemen, that's the end of our show today. And make sure you like, subscribe, and comment on our show, and give us your worst and best wrestler of the week, all time, and one of your best finisher and signature moves. And please don't give us a generic, the classic DDT. What version of the DDT you like?
Yeah, you got to name the wrestler that's doing it that you like, because there's a lot of bad ones out there.
Yeah, I know, really. Just like Kevin Nash, according to my brother here, does the worst powerbomb, and he explained it why. He ain't gonna tell you again, but I'm just saying that was just an example. So make sure you do that, and we'll see you on Saturday. Peace.
Later.